CSS would like to thank Reset Games for providing us with this game. If you are interested in buying new or used games, check their site out at the link provided in the video description.
1, 2, 1, 2, hit 3.
Baby, I'm a broken man. I'm just a shattering storm.
Hit 3.
Rhythm Heaven Fever, as suggested by its name, is a rhythm and music video game created by the same design team that brought you the WarioWare series. A sequel to Rhythm Heaven for the DS, Fever brings the zany musical series to the Wii with more overall polish than its predecessors. Fever perfects the philosophy of easy to learn, difficult to master. The game is broken down into various games or songs. Each feels like its own miniature scenario, opening with a quick title card before moving on to a tutorial that explains the rules, while providing humorous dialogue and story to go along with the upcoming song. Fever focuses more on having you listen to the rhythm of the music rather than giving you complex controls to follow, so you'll only need to use the A button or the A and B button together on the Wii Remote to play this game. Your task for each song is to match your button presses to the beat. The rhythm varies from song to song, with some requiring you to keep a steady beat with occasional offbeats thrown in, while other songs will have you mimicking a rhythm pattern after hearing it. The variety of gameplay is thus created by the songs themselves, with each song varying in style and rhythm. As I mentioned, Rhythm Heaven Fever puts an emphasis on listening to the music to know when to press the buttons, rather than relying on the visuals. You'll have to hit the beat exactly, as too soon or too late will still result in a failure. On top of that, while visual clues are given, on occasion the visuals will turn against you, blocking the on-screen action and forcing you to listen to the song for the cues instead. While this may intimidate most people, I found it to be a refreshing change of pace when compared to other rhythm games. And on top of that, I generally learned a bit about knowing when to listen for your cue by listening to the music, something percussionists know all too well. Fever consists of 50 of these song scenarios, each divided into 10 groups of 5. You unlock each song one by one, and after clearing the first 4 songs in a group, you'll be presented with a remix stage. Remix stages take all the preceding scenarios in that group and mix them together to a new style of song, complete with its own artistic makeover. These stages are even trickier than normal stages due to the quick change-ups between the different scenarios. That said, you'll find yourself looking forward to each of these remixes, with each having some of the catchiest songs in the game and feeling like a boss stage for each group. Upon completing each song, you are given a different rank depending on your performance. If you get at least an OK, you'll be allowed to move on to the next scenario. If not, you'll have to try the stage again before moving on. Don't worry though, if you end up struggling with one of the stages after so many attempts, you will be allowed to skip it and move on to the next one. If you meet certain criteria in the game, usually performing certain sections really well, then you'll be given a superb rank. If you get a superb ranking, you'll obtain a medal. Medals unlock various extra games such as rhythm toys, endless rhythm games, and songs taken directly from the first game in the series, the Japanese-only Rhythm Tengoku for the Game Boy Advance. After obtaining a superb medal, every once in a while the game will allow you to attempt to go for a perfect score. Getting a perfect allows you to unlock extra content, including interesting writing about each song scenario, lyrics for some of the songs, and the songs for the sound test. Getting a perfect medal only happens when the game allows you to go for perfect. Why they didn't allow you to go for perfect whenever you want is beyond me. Overall, the gameplay never really felt repetitive to me, with the visuals and music creating enough variety to keep things interesting. Fever, while looking simple and easy to play, can provide quite a challenge, though it never comes across as being unfair. With tons of content to unlock, and with each of the game's musical scenarios being catchy and amusing, you'll find it hard not to want to replay the different sections of the game over and over again. That isn't to say that this game doesn't have issues, though the issues I have with the game are very minor and have no effect on the core gameplay experience. For example, after completing a song scenario, you're brought back to the main menu, and must go back into said song and skip the tutorial before you can restart playing the song. Considering that you'll more than likely want to keep trying these scenarios over and over multiple times, I'm not sure why they didn't include a way to quickly restart the song without having to exit back to the main menu. Also, Fever doesn't do a good job of telling you how well you are doing on each song. On some of the songs I thought I did horrid in, they actually gave me an OK and allowed me to pass on. While on other songs, especially the remixes, it seemed like they graded me harder. This could have easily been fixed if they had simply given you some indication of progress. On top of that, you're not made aware of what criteria is needed in order to obtain a superb rank until after you've met that criteria. Again, this would have been an easy fix if they had just provided you the list of criteria before starting the song. Overall though, this doesn't really hinder enjoyment of the game since your ultimate goal is to play the song as flawlessly as possible anyway. As mentioned, the music is one of the most important factors of Fever, as it's what creates the different stages. The different songs influence everything else in the game, from art style to gameplay. The songs are fairly varied, ranging from an upbeat rock ballad to a rap song about love.
Into you. you.
Boat show,
Boat show.
crazy into you.
Crazy into you.
The songs are enjoyable and upbeat, and you'll find it hard not to be humming some of these tunes even after you've turned the game off. There are even a few lyrical songs, which are all amazing, and even the songs that are just okay will grow on you the more you play them. The presentation of the art, like the rest of Fever, is simple but stunning, with the art matching well to the mood that the songs convey. From interviewing a wrestler to bumping balls to a bossa nova beat, the lovable crazy scenarios the game presents are always a joy to look at as you play along to the song. The game has quite the sense of humor, so don't be surprised if you find yourself chuckling here or there from the absurdity of what is on screen. Even the game's writing, which as expected, is fairly unimportant in the grand scheme of this game, is humorous and helps make each song scenario feel like its own miniature story. Fever also includes a small 2-player mode, which takes a handful of the single-player song scenarios, but allows you to play along with a partner. This mode feels fairly tacked on, though I'll admit, I did enjoy playing through it with my brothers. That said, this is kind of the game that doesn't really need a multiplayer mode, because the games are short enough that it can be just fun enough passing the Wii remote around with your buddies as everyone takes turns trying to get the perfect score. Overall, Rhythm Heaven Fever is a brilliant game, and it's one of the best rhythm games I've ever played. It has pretty much perfected the art of combining music, art, and gameplay together to create joyful mini-experiences that will keep you coming back for more.
Go, go!
Now, if you're not that good at rhythm games, I still encourage you to give this game a try. I was pretty awful when I first started playing this game, having to skip quite a few of the songs, but the more I played, the better I got, to the point where most of the songs now have a superb ranking on my file. Plus, the game is still fun regardless of whether or not you're good at it. Though you may consider the $30 price point a bit much for a compilation of mini rhythm games, the replayability and sheer brilliance of the game I feel justifies the price. Plus, it's already cheaper than most Wii games. I highly recommend checking out Rhythm Heaven Fever, and you can purchase it wherever games are sold. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review and found it helpful, please leave a comment below or like this video.